When it comes to putting a design down on your substrate, you have to consider what you're trying to achieve. Are you going to be putting something on a dark background? Do you want it to stand out? Do you want it to blend in? Do you want it to have a certain feel to it? Do you want to feel the transfer on there, or do you want it not to be noticed? Now in sublimation, we use special inks and paper to print an image onto the paper, take it to the substrate, and then we use heat to transfer the image onto the substrate. Here, let's walk through the process. Okay, basically what we do is we take an image that we've printed out from our computer. Once it's dry, we put it onto the substrate. In this case, it's a shirt. We take our heat press, clamp down on the heat press for the specified time and the specified temperature. Once that's done, we take it off, and our design is done. Now, I'm not going to go through it right now. The following video shows Terry going through a whole project. But that's basically how it's done. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, I've done that with transfer paper that I bought at Walmart and put it on the shirts, and it didn't really look that good. Actually, the methodology is pretty similar, but the results are different. This is a heat transfer. Actually, it's a professional heat transfer, not a Walmart one. It looks pretty good, but you can feel where you actually put it on. This is a sublimated shirt. The ink actually goes into the shirt and bonds with it. You can't feel where it's at. If you had your eyes closed, you wouldn't be able to tell where the design is. And it's the same with hard goods. For instance, mugs. You can only sublimate on things that are actually coated at the factory that allow the dye to penetrate. So you can't do it on everything. You can't just buy something off the shelf and bring it to us and sublimate it. We do have a wide selection of things that can be sublimated, but it's not everything that you'd like to have done. Okay, let's talk briefly about the main advantages of using sublimation. Sublimation is great for color. It can be used for 1 or 2 color printing, but sublimation is a great process for full color graphics on a variety of substrates. Because of this, it's great for putting photographic images onto shirts, mugs, and any sublimatable item. Full color sublimation is less expensive than other methods. When you get into multicolor heat transfers and screen printing, the cost rises considerably. Each additional color is an additional expense. But these methods are more cost effective than sublimation in 1 or 2 colors, but not in full color. Sublimation becomes part of the substrate. Unlike heat transfers, it can't be felt. It won't scratch and it won't wash off, and it can be safely hand washed. Okay, now let's talk about some of the disadvantages of sublimation. For one, it takes more time. This is mainly due to the amount of time it takes to print the paper for the transfer to take place. With fabrics, you really should use 100% polyester. If you use anything else, like a 50-50 blend of cotton and polyester, you're probably not going to get the kind of results you want. You cannot in any case use 100% cotton. For non-fabric goods, you can only use factory-coated items. The factory actually puts a coating on that's specifically made for sublimation, and this is what you need to use to transfer the image onto the substrate. It can be UV susceptible. Basically what this means is that it may fade in direct sunlight. The inks these days are better and better, so there's less of a problem with that, but still there is going to be some fading, but as time goes on this is less and less of a problem. Some coatings are not dishwasher safe. If you intend to use your product in a dishwasher or clean it in the dishwasher, you should let your designer know. There are size limitations, and these are based primarily on 2 things: the resolution of the image and the size of the heat press, which is the normal way of transferring the heat so that you put the image on the substrate. Basically, the more megapixels in a picture, the bigger you can make the image, if indeed you want a big image. And as far as the limitation of the heat press, you can actually tile the image so that you can put it on in pieces, so it's not as big a limitation as it might be. But once you start making it that big, the input resolution becomes a problem anyway, so these two work together. But by far the biggest disadvantage to sublimation is that its use is restricted to white or light colored fabrics like light pink, light blue, or light yellow. You cannot use it on black or navy blue or deep colors. And this is really a severe limitation because most people don't just want a white t-shirt or white sweatshirt. They want color, and a lot of people like dark colors. So now let's take a look at some of the things that we do sublimate. Okay, you can see from the pictures that you can do sublimation on a variety of substrates. But you can basically go from this, a plain white substrate, to this. This is actually a picture of from our vacation, and we put it on a tile mural. So give us a call today if you want to put a colorful design on tiles, shirts, mugs, keychains, license plates, who knows. Give us a call, tell us what you have in mind, and then we'll work together and make sure it happens.